Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today I am doing because it's gorgeous out. It's like 60 degrees. It's morning time. Doors and windows are open. Today we're going to do some biscuit and gravy. Been in the mood for this for a little while. I just don't usually cook this when it's really hot out. So now that the temperature has dropped, these are some of the recipes that I'm going to get into. Okay, so having said that, here we go. We're going to make our own biscuits. We're going to make our own gravy, our own sausage gravy. Add a little bit of spice to it, not too much. If you watch this channel, you know I like some spicy food, but you don't have to do that. You can just leave it out. Okay, we're doing a basic biscuit. We're using Bisquick. I think they're fine. You can make homemade, literally biscuits if you want to roll out your own dough and cut them and then bake them like that. I also know people that use, like a Pillsbury Grand biscuit, out of your local supermarket is fine too. It all depends on what you want, really. I want kind of those like little peaks and valleys on top of my biscuits. A little crunchy on the top, soft in the middle. That's why I'm using the Bisquick. Okay, so here we go. We got 2 cups of Bisquick over here. We've got about 2/3 cup of milk. Actually, it is 2/3 cup of milk, and we got a little bit of vegetable oil, about a tablespoon. This is just going to be for our biscuits. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do those in just a second. Super simple. Anybody can do this recipe. So moving on to the sausage gravy, again, really easy. I got about a pound of, this is like 1.1 pounds, so about a pound of bulk Italian sausage. Now you can use like a Jimmy Dean pre-packaged if you want to. I know a lot of people that use that. You probably actually get a lot of that if you go out and get this in a restaurant as well. But I went to the local butcher this morning and that's what I got, some sweet sausage. Okay, because we're going to add the heat with the red pepper flake here. All right, so we got some red pepper flake, like I just got done saying. We got 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. We got about 2 cups of whole milk. I like the fat in the milk, but you can use 2% if you'd like. We got some cracked pepper, and we have some salt. That's it for this recipe, okay? We'll explain a few things as I go along. But for right now, I'm just going to clear this cutting board off. We're going to show you how to make the biscuits. Now would be a perfect time to preheat your oven to 450 because these have to bake anywhere from 11 to 13 minutes. All right, we'll be right back with you. Okay, so here we go. On with the biscuits. We have 2 cups of Bisquick. This recipe couldn't be easier. I actually use the same... I use Bisquick when I do a beef stew. We're going to show you how to do that one day here coming up too. Comfort food time. And I put those on top of the gravy in the stew and let them bubble away. And you pour your stew over those biscuits and mud on. It's fantastic. Okay, so 2 cups of flour, or not flour, but Bisquick. We're going to do about 2/3 cup of whole milk, and we're just going to do a little bit of vegetable oil. Okay? All right, and that is all the ingredients that this takes. Now all we're going to do is I'm going to mix all this together until it becomes a little doughy. And then these are going to go on a baking sheet, which I have off to the side. And then that's going to be it. We're just going to drop a dollop of this dough on the cookie sheet, and we're going to bake them, like I said, for anywhere from 11 to 13 minutes. Keep checking them so they don't burn. This is going in on an ungreased cookie sheet, by the way. Now, if you find it easy to do it with a fork, you can. I just get it to a certain point, and then I just kind of scrape the bowl with the dough. That's what I do. Bisquick's been around for a long time, so right, they must be doing something right. So I use Bisquick for this, and I do make homemade biscuits, but if I'm in a recipe like this is good. But nothing wrong with making your homemade biscuits, nothing at all. All right, so there it is. Our dough now is made. 3 ingredients. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're going to get these laid out on a cookie sheet, and we're going to get these in the oven. See you in a second. I'll clean my hands up here. There we go. And we're off. Right back. All right, we got a cookie sheet here, and all I'm going to do, you can spoon this or whatever, however you want to do it. I just usually just break off a little bit like that, just like that. That's all. You don't have to get crazy with these. These are just your you know, it's supposed to be a little rustic, right? It's that kind of recipe. So you don't have to be perfect. Like I like when you put them on the tray like this, instead of maybe smoothing them out like that, you'll see what they'll do when they come out. They're all like peak and valleys. So that's what, you know, adds a little texture to the meal as well. You make them as kind of as big as small. I wouldn't go too big with them, but you know, you can kind of make them as however you want. So we got a little one here at the end. So we got about 8 biscuits. Okay, each biscuit you're gonna cut in half. You know, you guys know how that works, right? Okay, so we're gonna get these in the oven. So my oven's preheating. We're gonna get these in the oven. We got a couple minutes left on that. We're gonna let these bake down for, like I said, about 11 to 13 minutes, and then we will take them out of the oven. We'll let them cool down a little bit. In the meantime, we're gonna start doing a heating up my pan over here. We're doing this in a cast iron skillet too. If you guys got a cast iron skillet, I recommend you doing it in that. You can do it in a non-stick pan. Just make sure you use the right utensils on it. I think this works a little bit better in a cast iron skillet. Okay, so onto the gravy and the sausage gravy, actually. Okay. All right, so here we go. We're just gonna take our sausage that we got here, and in it goes, just like that. All right, put that aside. You do want to break this up, just because you don't want super big chunks. Now you do want some chunks in it, but you don't want a whole bunch of chunks in it, right? You know, you'll see. I'll show you. We'll show you. That's what we do. We teach, we show, we learn. Everybody learns, right? And your neighbors will be like, hey, what's he cooking today? So this is what we're doing. Sausage or gravy and biscuits and gravy, all that. All right, so, and as this cooks along, this will be a little bit easier to break up. And I have a little tool here that you can get just about anywhere. This one happens to be a Pampered Chef. It's a little tool like this that you push down on it once it starts going. All right. Another thing is, don't worry about you know, if you see the bottom of your pan kind of get like, you know, you think it's burning. It's not burning. Don't worry about it. Just let this cook down a little bit. We're going to get this also, which is very important, at least I think, is that we're going to get this sausage, the pieces, we're going to get them nice and caramelized, okay? So that's going to give us a lot of flavor in this too. All these little things just make your recipes a little bit better. That's one of them, okay? So we're gonna just so this is what I'm talking about, like here. Don't worry about that. That's going to happen. Basically, what we're going to do is once we pour the milk in, that's going to basically deglaze that, and it's going to be fine. So don't worry about that. Don't sit here and try to scrape it off. Just watch your heat. You don't want to burn it, obviously, right? You don't want to burn it. Or you can just use a thing like this, right? Just with a straight edge on it. Just kind of do this, break it up. Okay, so the only other thing that I didn't have on my cutting board for ingredients-wise was a little bit of butter. Now, every time you buy, not every time, but there's a lot of times you buy sausage, and what happens is some sausage, depends on where you get it from, will have more fat content in it, okay? So we don't want a lot of fat in this, but we do want some fat in it. And if this particular sausage that was made today doesn't have a lot of fat in it, we're going to add some butter to this, and then we're going to mix that with our flour. That's how we're going to kind of get like our roux, and then we're going to throw the milk in on top of it. Whole milk, once again, it just adds a little bit of flavor to it. It's fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to finish browning this. When this is done, we'll be back with you, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by getting those little bits caramelized. You're gonna add a lot of flavor. Right, so our sausage is doing good. Our biscuits are almost done. There's our biscuits. Okay, let's take these out. I'll show you what these look like. These were in for about 11 minutes. And these are our tray of biscuits. Okay, not burnt. Okay, nice and on the top, right? Okay, so this is it. This is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna set these aside. We're going to let those cool down just a little bit. You can put those on a cooling rack if you chose to, if you want to do that. And then we're going to show you this sausage, what I'm talking about. Look at, you can see how a lot of those bits are brown, all that caramelization. That's kind of really what you want. And then all this flavor right here that looks like it's burnt, that's on the bottom of the pan, not burnt. As soon as you throw your milk and flour in, it's gonna deglaze that. It's gonna come up. That's gonna be all through your gravy. Okay, so there we go. I'm just gonna stick these on a cooling rack. I'm gonna let this sausage go for another couple minutes. I'm gonna bring it back with me. We're gonna add a little dab of butter, about a tablespoon, for a little bit of richness, and we're gonna throw in the flour. So I'll be right back with you guys. We'll show you how to do this this gravy part of it now. Okay, all right, hang in there. We're almost done. All right, so we got the biscuits over on the cutting board cooling down right now. You guys can do the same if you chose to. All right, so I think that now this sausage is gorgeous. Okay, see all the little brown bits. Remember, that's not burnt. That's flavor. That's all that is. Okay. So what we're going to do at this point now, we're just going to throw a little bit of butter in. We're going to just melt this down real quick. I'm going to keep you guys with me through this part of it because I want you to, if you've never done, basically you're just like making a roux. You see me make a roux in a lot of my videos, and it's going to add just a little bit of flavor, a little richness to it as well. Not that this dish really needs that, but anyways. So now you can see how much liquid, not liquid, but most of that is butter. There's a little bit of fat from the bacon left in there. And what we're going to do now is I'm just going to put in a little bit of red pepper flake, not too much, just a little bit. I'm going to say maybe a teaspoon, and we'll get that going. We'll get that cooking while we make the roux here. Okay, so now what I recommend you guys do, and you can do this any way you want to, okay? After you put in, just to get this off the bottom of the pan, switch over to a spoon at this point, okay? So here we go. Let's try to spread this out a little bit evenly. You don't have to, but just a little evenly. Now I got about, give or take, this is not packed flour, so it's about 1/3 of a cup, okay? And all we're going to do is we're just going to cook this down, and you're going to see by doing this that you're doing a couple of different things. One, you're going to start thickening. Two, you're going to also cook the raw flour taste out of that, because listen, raw flour sucks, right? So you got to cook it down a little bit. All right, so that's good. Just about a minute on this. This is going to be delicious. It's going to be an awesome breakfast this morning. You'll maybe have a little bit of whatchamacallit left over, some biscuits left over, and then you can have it for lunch, or you can reheat this up tomorrow as well. Okay. So just remember, when you put the flour in and then you put the milk in, it's not a good idea to put flour on top of the milk. So this is your flour. This is what you're doing. Okay. All right. So I think that's good. What we're going to do, looks awesome, and we're just going to put our milk in now. I'm going to go just a little bit slow with it, just because I want to make sure that I don't like kill the temperature of the pan, right? Because this is going to cool it down, even though I've had it out of the refrigerator and on the counter. Okay, so there we go, just like that. And you'll feel like right now, if I could show you the bottom of the pan, that bottom of that pan now, where I'm scraping and mixing, is clear. There's no more of that. See? Feel? And then over here, not so much. Over here, yeah. Okay, so keep stirring. Keep stirring, keep stirring. Now you really mess this up. I mean, I guess you can mess anything up, but so what we're doing, we're just trying to thicken this. Once you put that flour in there, keep it moving. Don't let it set up on you, because that's going to cause you a problem. Now, as you can see, now it's thickening up already. Okay, so make sure you keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. And if it gets too thick, what you can do is you can always add milk to it to thin it out, right? That's the catch here. But you can't add flour to it. I would not add no more flour to it. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna be back in just 1 second. I'm gonna grab my milk just to have it on hand, because we don't want to let that sit too long. Okay, and I wouldn't let it go too much longer than what I just did. Okay, so this is our gravy. Now it depends on how thick you like your gravy, right? So right now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this down low, and I'm going to add a little bit more milk to this just to thin it out. And this part is just all done by eye. All right, there's no master science to this or whatnot. You're just doing it until it feels right to you. Okay, so, and remember that when you do this gravy, always take it off the burner prior to when you think it's done. Okay, because it's going to thicken as it cools, and it's going to thicken as you heat it. The more heat you put to it, the more it's going to thicken. Okay, so now we look like we got control over this. All right, something like this maybe. So it depends how loose that you guys like. If you like it loose, add more milk. If you like it a little tighter, cook it down a little bit more. Now I have the heat down to pretty low at this point. I got it almost not even at a simmer. Okay, so I'm thinking a little bit more milk, just like this, and all the stuff now on the bottom of the pan is all off, which is nice. Okay, and then we're going to season it in another minute. As soon as I get all this incorporated, we're going to season this. I know sometimes it's boring when I keep you guys with me, but I figured sometimes people have a hard time with things like this. Okay, so off to a spoon. Grab ourselves a spoon, check out and see what we now have. See how this tastes. Okay, definitely need some seasoning. Now this is kind of a meal that this likes the black pepper. Okay, so it's gonna look like a lot of black pepper. There probably is a lot of black pepper. So I usually go around the pan like that first of all, and then now that I know where my salt content is, I'll go around real quick with just a little bit of salt. We're going to keep mixing. Get this incorporated, give it another taste, and then we're gonna do our biscuits and gravy. Okay. And see, I don't know if you can see the bottom of the pan now. It's all deglazed. Okay, since I'm the only one eating, I can use the same spoon. All right. That's very good. Oh my Lord. I'm going to put a little bit more salt in it. And I think that this is now done. Another little bit. Perfect. Oh Lord. Okay. Let me get you guys to the other side. We gotta throw this on some biscuits. All right, so here we go. Let's get this plated up. This It's gonna be a great breakfast. Awesome breakfast. All right, so this is, again, this is what this looks like. This is what that should look like. Okay, there's our sausage gravy. Now, okay, on to, let's see, let's get a couple of nice biscuits here. And we're gonna, let's see. Oh, a little unprepared for that part of it. Okay, so anyways, we're just gonna get into these biscuits like this. If they crumble, that's okay, because, hey, listen, they're going on a plate, right? No. Okay. And we're going to do that. All right, so let's stick these on the plate right now. And then we're going to somehow clear this off because I hate the mess. Hang in there, guys. Hang in there. We're almost done. We're almost done. Okay. Now I feel better about that. Okay, so here's how I'm going to do this. Right or wrong or indifferent, right? There we go. So we're going to take a biscuit, piece of a biscuit there, and we're going to grab a nice big spoonful of gravy, and we're just going to pour that right over the top. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take another biscuit like that. You got to make sure they kind of stay on for you. Okay. And a little bit more, just like that. And then we're going to do this. Then we're going to do this. With a little bit more on the top. Just like that. Now I know somewhere in my future here there's some Looney Tunes on, which is where I'm going. Hopefully we can get some. Okay. Clean up the board. Alright guys, this is it. This is it. This is how, if you guys like biscuits and gravy, give this a shot. This is how I make my biscuits and gravy. I hope you guys all enjoy this. It's definite comfort food on a cold day. Go sit on the patio, go sit on the porch, invite some friends over, get into some of this. Alright, biscuits and gravy. That's how I do it.